Yeah, it's like they've been hacked. And it literally seems like they've been hacked. Yeah, Cloudflare. Yep, yep. All right, so I'll trade soybeans this morning and we'll watch corn, but I would trade corn in cash. If we had a big, and our cash account is tiny right now, so we're not able at this point in time to use our cash account. We're trading prop pretty much exclusively. Let's get our time up. Unless I can build up a $300 cash account, which is not easy. It's not easy to do. Yeah, soybeans have not been trading well compared to corn. So I'd probably. So here's the thing. Look at the spike sheet. Let's look at the spike sheet. All right. So looking at the spike sheet, that's the sheet that tells us how have soybeans been working on each report over the past X months. Okay. So let's take a look at the spike sheet. If we look at the spike sheet on soybeans, last month you can't count it because that was quarterly grains with Wasde. So November and December, it only moved 10 and 15 ticks. Prior to that, soybeans were trading pretty well. Then in April, we had a bad nothingness move, and a couple of months last January and February, it was decent. It was good in January, but that was WASD. That was WASD. And then February, it only moved 20 ticks. So soybeans been a little bit inconsistent, but I would have traded corn in cash, soybeans in funded. Corn in cash, soybeans in funded. That's how I look at it. So, I mean, I would probably trade either or in cash. I think the report's been working pretty well overall. Overall, it's been working pretty well. So, I would trade it, cash or prop. So, on corn, I'm going to put a reverse continue and absolutely put a reverse continue on both charts. And we'll do a target of 15 ticks. Let me just think. 20 ticks, reverse continue target, 20 tick stop.
Voice
And
news disconnected.
unfortunately, I can only trade this in my regular SIM account. So that's where it's going to have to be. And we're going to label it ZC, reverse continue, apply it. Okay, so that's our reverse continue. And then looking at our DMM, they've both been trading pretty well. So we have a breakout trade, and we're going to trigger at 11:59:58. The bracket is 10. targets of 10 and 24. Target 1 is 10, target 2 is 24. The stop is 20. Excuse me. If it hits my first target, I will use the target 1 stop move to do a BE minus 4. And we'll check the bracket by setting the time to 0 for a moment. Label the trade. BRK breakout ZC. And then right now the time is on 0. So we'll check our bracket.
Order submitted.
And I want to
Order
get rid of
canceled.
the optional show vertical entry. That line bothers me. Show optional show vertical line on entry. Turn that off, and then we will put our time back to 11:59, 11:59:58. Apply it. Okay it. So we've got our corn set up. And then our soybeans set up. We'll do a similar, we'll put a reverse continue on the chart with soybeans. So change breakout to reverse continue. And we'll do a 20 tick target and a 20 tick stop. Twenty tick target, 20 tick stop on a reverse continue. We'll label it reverse soy continue. And I'll trade that in a funded account. Trade that in my oil funded account. Let's see if we can get that account cracking. Apply it and okay it. So that's one trade. We'll turn that on, and then we've got our breakout trade on soybeans. And that trade is 11:59:58. We have a bracket of 12. Target of 9 and a target of 25. I'm going to go a tiny bit higher on 30 on target 2. The stop is 20. And then target 1 stop move, also BE minus 4 if it hits the first target. And then we're going to label it breakout soy, breakout soy. And we're going to set the time to 0 just to look at the brackets before we start trading. Optional, show the vertical line on entry is out of there.
Order submitted.
Now I'd rather not be
Order canceled.
bursting right to the high of the day. It's not my favorite place to burst. I'd rather that we pull back before the event. 11:59:58, bracket of 12. Almost thinking we could go with a bracket of 10. The brackets have not been a big issue on this report at all. Where did my stream go? Let me see if I can fix this stream. Targets of 9 and 30. 9 and 30 on the targets. Stop is 20. BE minus 4. If it hits the first target. Okay, there's the stream. Okay. And we label the trade, and I'm going to trade it in a funded account. Break out soybeans, apply it, okay it, put the account on the right account. Let's get our clock back. There it is. And don't forget, just as part of your trading routine before an event, certainly before you trade in the morning, you should at least minimally one time during the day go to the website time.is, and make sure that you're in sync, right? That your computer is in sync. In the file folder, there is a file folder in the trade room, all right? There's a file folder, and in that file folder, there is a pre-trade checklist. And on that pre-trade checklist, that nice document that we call the pre-trade checklist, to make your life easy. Let's get that pre-trade checklist one more time. To make your life easy, we put on the list time is, www.time.is. All you have to do is click it, and it brings your computer to time is and checks to see if your computer is in sync. If your computer is not in sync, inside the same file folder are a couple of programs are that let you put your computer in sync. You've got Dimension for Time and Karen's Time Sync. You download them, run those programs, and they check to make sure that your computer, they will put your computer is in sync if you go to Time Is and you're not in sync. So that's the key. Now, Wasde in January is not really fair to look.
At 12
People
p.m.
made
Eastern
money
Time, we have
on
the
it,
Wasde end
but
stocks
it
data.
traded with
Corn end
quarterly
stocks
grains.
forecast
So that's a
2.227
big
billion,
deal.
unchanged to the prior.
Wasde
Cotton end stocks
in
forecast
January
4.2
traded with
million.
quarterly
Wheat end
grains.
stocks
So you
forecast
really have to look at Wasde
926
going back
million.
into
Soybean
December.
end
Okay,
stocks
welcome everyone to the
forecast
Pro Trade Room
350
Plus and the
million.
Wasde report. And the
Also expecting
Wasde
comments
is a
from Fed's
grain
Hammack, who's
report.
speaking at the Ohio Bankers League Economic Summit in Columbus.
And most of the calendars don't show results for grain reports. So this was December. We had corn on the left, soybeans on the right. And you could see they pop a bit, not dramatic, but tradable. Tradable. Possibly because China is buying grains again. That's why we're thinking we're going to get movement again out of these reports. possibly both instruments because of that. January was small, not a big mover. It was a winner, but not a big one. Not a big one. And then looking at November, do I have November? Let's see if we can grab it. Here's November.
US broker stocks fall
Corn
after
on the right.
antitrust launches AI-powered tax planning feature in Hazel platform.
Soybeans had the better move initially, and then corn was a little bit slower, but actually had a very good move. So a good move down there from corn. What soybeans did, it did a slow whipsaw that allowed you to get a profit on the upside, and then it took you out on the downside. But it was not a losing whipsaw because it wasn't fast. It hit target one on the upside and then changed direction. And then Wasde in October. Unfortunately, I don't have the video for October. September would have been, let's see if we have September. Here's September. Soybeans were on the left, corn on the right. Both instruments had very decent moves. So you could see it's possible to get moves out of both instruments. When you're looking to find out when the WASD is trading, what I normally do, I just type WASD report into Google and I just go to the USDA. The USDA has a WASD website and it shows the release when the report's being released. So that's one way. Just type WASD into your buddy Google and then the USDA when you go there. Right at the top, it's easy. WASD release dates. There you go. The next one will be March 10th. All right, March 10th. And then the other calendar that I like.
Just under 5 minutes' time, we have the WASD end stocks data. Corn end
And
stocks
what the heck is
forecast
wrong with Lucid?
2.227
I
billion,
wanted to sign up
unchanged from
with
the prior.
Lucid, and you
Cotton end
can't get
stocks
to their
forecast
website.
4.2 million. Wheat end stocks
I like the
forecast
calendar,
926 million. Soybean end stocks
tradingeconomics.com.
forecast 350 million.
They
Also expecting comments from Fed's Hammock.
often show the grain reports. For some reason, this week, I did not see the WASD report on this
As a
calendar.
reminder for Fed's Hammock, there will be text at 12 p.m. Eastern Time.
And if we go to Tuesday, it's not on here. So this is the first time that they failed to put the WASD report on their calendar. I don't know why it's not on there. Financial Juice has it, and very often investing.com, they often have the WASD report. and they don't have it today. So figure it out. I don't know. The smart way to do it is Google it, go to the USDA. That's the best way to make sure you know when the WASDE report's coming out. It's just like if you're interested in trading bond auctions, you could Google tentative bond auctions, and it takes you to the bond auction site, and it lists all the auctions, their tentative dates, the auction announcement date. It's a very good site if you're interested in bond auctions. Just Google tentative treasury auctions. It's a very good site. All right, so let's see if we get a nice move out of soybeans and corn. And then the next WASDE, we should have Lucid cracking. Financial
Reminder at
Juice
12 p.m. Eastern
shows
Time, we have the EIA
WASDE on
STEO
their
report.
website. Yeah, Lucid supports ZC, Calvin. That's why I wanted to sign up with them. I was going to sign up this morning and I can't get on. Can't get on the site.
We have posted a video of Fed Hammock speaking on the feed for those interested.
Francis, I just been typing in Lucid. I can't imagine I've been going to the wrong place. I was working. That's the thing. It was working and I was signing up, and in the middle of my signing up, it just crashed. I was there and it stopped. It just stopped working.
1 minute remaining till we get
All right. Couple of seconds, we'll get our brackets.
10 seconds.
Order submitted.
There's our brackets.
Fed's hammock coming through. It says Fed is in a good position policy to see how things play out. Current Fed target rate is in the vicinity.
And this
of
seems
the
like a
Fed rate
Order
policy
submitted.
pretty
currently on
small
hold for quite
event.
some time. I see growth boosted by Fed
Pretty
policy,
small event.
financial
I'd
conditions,
like
and
to see
fiscal momentum.
soybeans at
Inflation is
least
still
get
too
our
high and
first
tariff
target.
issues are
Come
still
on.
in play. I'm
At
cautiously
least go to
optimistic
the
about
first
economic outlook.
target.
I expect inflation
Corn
to ease as the
looks
year
like
goes
it should
forward,
be
but that's just
canceled.
a forecast.
Corn looks like
Both
it
sides
should
of
be
the Fed's
canceled.
mandate have been under
It's
pressure.
just not moving.
Job market
It's not moving at
stabilized
all.
into low higher,
Order
low
So
failed.
higher
I
low.
Order
would
canceled.
There is a
cancel
risk
corn,
inflation could stick as
trail my
this year,
soybeans,
and it
see if
needs to
we
come
can
down.
get to the low without getting too close. Just a tick. I'm not even trailing because it looks like it's going to pull back. It's going to be a tiny winner.
Order filled.
So just $125. I'll still take it. It's a funded account. But corn, ironically, didn't move. It barely moved at all. 9 or 10 ticks. That's ironic. That's ironic. How how did you get filled long? It was a 12 tick bracket. It was a 12 tick bracket with the price not even The current price at the time of the bracket was, I only show 8 ticks of movement. Oh,
Also, the Wasde data
now
coming
look,
through
even
weekend
with a
corn
10,
stocks,
even with
a
a
higher than the
10,
forecast, higher
I
at
don't see why it should have filled you.
2,127 million. Excuse me, that's lower than forecast of 2,227
But
million. Wasde cotton end stocks,
very, very
444 million, 444
mediocre
million, higher than
move
forecast of
at
442 million.
Wasde.
Wasde wheat end stocks,
Corn, there's
931
not
million,
really anything to
higher than forecast
reverse.
926 million. Wasde
Um,
soybean end stocks,
and
350
I'll
million, as
take
expected.
a small winner on soybeans. I thought maybe it would go to the low. It's pretty far to get to the low. We are positive also, so that's kind of going against us.
Seeing here from the
I don't
EID report,
understand
US
how
oil
people
production
got
averaged
filled
13
long on
spot 73
soybeans.
millibarrels
Let's
per
look
day
at
in
the
February
video in a minute.
versus 13 spot
We'll look at the
54
video in a
millibarrels per
minute.
day in January, to average 13 spot 74
I mean,
millibarrels
it
per day in
was
March.
pushing
Natural
up
gas
the
production in the
moment the
US
orders
to
went
average
on the chart. So
112.7 BCF a day
I
in February,
guess
as 117.1
I
BCF a
think
day in
that
January,
was
and to average 120.9 BCF a day in
the
March.
price was moving up before the news was
EIC's
released.
WTI
Now,
price
it
averaging
does look like the market
2026 at
wants to test the
$53.42 a
high.
barrel. There's a price forecast of
And this report
$52.21 a barrel.
often reverses,
2027
but
forecast of
it's
$49.34 a
such
barrel
a dull
versus the prior
market. I'm
forecast
just
of
going to just take my
$50.36 a
win
barrel.
and let it
They
go.
see Brent
And I'll just
price
wait
averaging
till tomorrow now.
$57.69 a barrel in 2026 versus
I'm
prior
not going to
forecast
try
of
and I think it's
$55.87
going
a
to
barrel.
test the high.
2027 forecast of $53 a barrel versus prior
It's going to
of
test the high. So it's 4
$54.02
points
a
to the
barrel.
high.
Also, EIA sees world oil demand of
It's going to go there.
104.8
It looks
million
like
barrels
it's
per day.
definitely going there.
Its
It
price
fell to the
that's unchanged from
downside.
prior forecast.
The price
It
was
sees
bullish.
2027 demand of 106.1 million barrels per day, also unchanged
It's going
from
to
the
test the
prior
high,
forecast.
but it's going
And
to
they
do it
see
without
world
me.
oil
I'm
output
too
of
late. If you're going to
107.8
get in,
million barrels per
it
day
should have been
versus the prior
5, 6 ticks ago.
107.7 million
5 or
barrels per
6
day.
ticks ago.
They see 2027 output
Very
at
nice,
of
Francis.
108.8 million barrels per day compared to the prior of 108.2 million barrels per day.
Did it hit your stop, Roz? Did it hit the stop? It was a 20 tick stop. So you're saying you got filled at 11:21? $11.21. That's 11:21 right there. That's 11:21. So that red line was 11:21. Yeah, moved 29 ticks down. All right. Didn't seem like it moved that much. Let's look at the video. I'm trying to figure out how you got filled long on that. So let's look at the video for a quick second and see what happened. Yeah, 11:21. Mine too, Alan. 75 was the peak. It went a little bit higher. Went a little bit higher. let's turn off the breakout. No reason to have the breakouts. I'm very, very surprised about corn though. How poor of a move that it was on corn. Corn, the total candle move, the total candle was 9 ticks. It's like back to the way it used to be. All of a sudden, corn has lost its pizzazz completely again. And then soybeans, not like it was huge, but about 29 ticks it looks like. Let's look at the video. All right, here's the video. Soybeans on the
According to
left.
the EIA, they say U.S. Gulf Coast refiners are likely the ultimate destination for Venezuelan oil stored in the Caribbean by traders.
All right, here come the brackets. So brackets come on, it's immediately moving up. Immediately moving up, and then it totally changes direction. I do not understand how people got filled long. I just don't get it. What the heck? What the heck? I guess where your orders were placed on the chart was a problem. So, one possible lesson that might help in the future, the adjust button was invented to be pressed when what happened happened. Immediately upon the orders going on the chart, before the news was clearly out, it looked like there was going to be a fill before the news came out. I'm not saying it was the best possible time to press the adjust button. I just let it trade. I mean, I might have, under others, I might have pressed the adjust button also. It was a strange movement before the report. It moved a lot before the actual report. But I used the bracket that we said to use. 12 was the bracket to use. 12 was the bracket. That's what I used. So in this case, I'm not sure why. Did I say to use a different bracket? The bracket was smaller on corn. It was 10, and the bracket was 12 on soy. So why? The question you ask yourself is, why do you do that? Why do we make that decision? So looking at the DMM and the movements, the corn movements, except for last month when it was with quarterly grains, are significantly smaller than with than soybean. Soybean, the moves are much bigger, and the bigger bracket is appropriate. But I went with 12 because thinking of the size of those moves, the size of the moves, seemed like it made more sense. Now, I think I might have been more prone to press the adjust button also if I used the 10 and I saw it like almost instantly getting filled, then I would absolutely be more inclined to press the adjust button. I don't want to get filled before the news comes out. And if I see movement right towards the fill the moment the orders go on the chart, that's adjust button territory. That's a strong reason to press the adjust button once. But it was a little bit of a strange move also in that it went up and down, both, right before the news came out. That's a little bit unusual. Watching it one more time, it was a little strange. The moment the orders went on the chart, it looked like it was going to fill. And it certainly entered my mind to use the adjust button, but that's, if you did use the smaller bracket, that's what caused the fill. That's what messed up the trade. All right. All right. A mediocre moving Wasde. Mediocre moving Wasde. All right, folks. So that's it for today. What do we got going for tomorrow? I mean, I hate if something I say makes people have a stop. Um, the reason I didn't shrink the bracket was because of more movement on soybeans compared to corn. And then when you see strong movement, the second the orders go on the chart, that's a valid time to hit the adjust button once. It's valid. It would have been valid. Sometimes that on a dull trade, that could leave a bunch of the profit in the bracket because the bracket gets recentered. Sometimes that could leave 2 or 3 ticks in the bracket, which you need to hit your target. That's the adjust button is, it's a very imperfect helper. Sometimes it helps and sometimes it hurts. But just looking from the amount of movement, my thinking is, yeah, I could shrink the bracket here, but we've got enough movement that if I leave it where it is, we should be fine in overpowering what's in the bracket. Because the only troublesome was December. Everything else looked like it would have overpowered the 12 bracket. Because Wasde hasn't been super fast with lots of slippage. It has not been a big slippage trade. Yeah, today it just got in the way because of the weird movement before the news. That's really what it was. It was weird movement before the news, and that's what ruined it. That's what ruined it. That was unusual. I think if we look at 8 WASDs, looking just for fun, looking at December because I have it handy, I bet we don't see that same kind of movement right before the report. I think we'll see when the brackets go on, it'll be more stable price. Okay, there's the brackets, and then boom, it just shoots up at the time of the news. So it
Yeah,
was a
so
little
do
bit
not expect
weird
OPEC
price
Plus to
action.
raise production
Don't
next year.
forget to go to data series and put your chart trader trading hours back to default. Use instrument settings. so that your pivots and everything are back to normal. All right. Okay, everyone. Tomorrow morning early for McDonald earnings. And McDonald's been decent. They've been decent earnings. They've been worth trading. They've been worth trading. Okay, I'll see everybody in the morning. I believe we will be 6:30 for McDonald's. It's pretty early. Yeah, 6:30. So I'll see everybody in the morning. Okay, see you all later. And thanks everybody on YouTube. Appreciate you joining us. Going to close out the stream and we'll see you all tomorrow.